awareness tonight also of the youth. And when the youth are not employed, we cannot be sure of the economic growth of the country. Our call tonight continues to be productivity. And we do this not alone. We join together with the policy makers and experts. That's what should be if we are to have an evolving society. Honorable, it's once again in this last session that we come with another vibe to see how to conclude our session and looking at resolving this question utilizing the available opportunity. There is economic integration, which is an aspiration of the East African community that is supposed to be solving part of unemployment and free movement of labor. Possibly it could have given a limitation, it could give a limitation of losing our, our resourceful persons, the human capital being used across, in Eastern Asia, and most probably, which is painful, being exploited. We look at which mechanisms, since you're a member of the Human Rights Abuses, Human Rights Commission rather.
Human Rights Committee
rather.
And also Legal and Parliamentary Affairs.
Legal and Parliamentary Affairs. There's a point you were still about to talk about, which was relating with issues of governance. And the issue of human rights abuses remains pertinent in this discussion. And even where we are, the sexual harassment and also the underemployment, the abuse of labor, which you've talked about here, it remains a challenge. And sometimes one just feels discouraged and disappointed and say, maybe let me get 2-3 million, or even not get anything, I just go and work. Because some of them, their visas are prepaid, and they go and first work. Come on again, it's a pleasure to have you, Honorable Bill.
Sorry, yeah, you see, this East African integration, it's very annoying to me as a person. Really, me, I hate it so much. Reasons, Uganda is doing everything.
It can't save us from this situation.
Yeah, you see, Uganda is really committed to this integration. You'll find Sudanese here, we're eating
job and market.
Rice from Tanzania, people are getting employment here. But Tanzania cannot buy our sugar. Let's start with first things first. Kenya cannot buy our eggs, chicken, and maize, and portion.
How about going to work there?
Working there, it's a nightmare. The conditions are so stringent. I don't know how many Ugandans are there and Rwanda here. But we are busy saying East African integration. When I had an interaction with the members of AYALA, I put them these questions. It looked too difficult questions. They wondered how this village girl got this. I read. If you want information, you have to read. But Uganda as a country, we don't even need Kenya to solve our problems. We can talk very well with Australia, Canada. The labor here is too little. They will go, they don't have to be there permanent. They just go like 6-7 months, they work and come back. And come with a lot of money and start a business or do whatever they can do. Because sometimes it's capital. We have oil. A lot of it. We have the road sector. You've mentioned them, health and so forth. How can nutrition be a problem? People wake up and eat cassava, then they eat cassava again, then they eat cassava, the kid walks with another cassava or sweet potatoes. Where is the balanced diet here? So when something happens, it's just a mess.
You had something you're talking about. I don't want to lose your points. You were talking about issues of the intervention of the other institutions in supporting maybe this discourse. I don't know. You talked about issues of judicial bit.
Yeah, the independence of the judiciary, they must do the work. It's not that we don't have laws.
The fight against corruption.
Punitive action against any idea of exploitation. How can a man rape a 9-year or defile or abuse a 9 or a 7-year-old or 13? How can a father who wants to have a relationship or have a sexual relationship with their daughter? This is madness. Yeah, in COVID a lot of this happened. But what I'm saying is, yes, free movement of labor. But is it effective in this?
But again, also the employment. There is we meet these youth, you also meet them, and they very much say, if I get my visa, I will just go. Here in Uganda to get a job, they ask you, you're a son of who? You're a daughter of who? How can we intervene and calm that down? So for equal employment opportunity.
A simple example. I don't know where it came from. You just ask the Minister for Foreign Affairs. Give us all the details of people working in foreign envoys. Who is working in the Embassy of Canada, Australia, give us. And how do they get this employment? If every Ugandan woke up sober, for the first time they wake up and say, today I'm sober for the rest of my life, do you know jobs will be too much? Here you want to play RDC, you remove other people's children who are hardworking, you bring your husband, your daughter, shameless. I don't disagree with people employing their brothers, sisters, but do they qualify? When I used to sit on Human Resource Committee of Uganda Red Cross, there was a girl from, is it Mutesa something University? I asked, can you talk about yourself and tell us who you are and why you have applied? Then the lady says, she cannot even mention her name. Now, what is this? This is total madness. Just to say, oh, madam, okay, thank you for coming. We shall let you know in 2 weeks' time. So that she gets off our way. We must, as women, compete and show men I can. And if you leave yourself here, I'm too soft, people will exploit you sexually. Stand on your 2 feet because there is gender equality. Do whatever you can do with your hands. We have hands like men. But a man can be more broke than a woman because men do not know how to manage their little resources. They can only manage when it's so much. So youths out there, please, I beg you, stop dreaming, stop living outside what you have. Cut your coat according to your size. Appreciate the little you have. When you see me dress like I dress, it's because I'm a member of parliament. Why would you want to compete with anyone you meet out there? Compete with yourself. Say myself, by 5 years, I must have a business like this. Learn to have customer care. And to invest, also to save. Save. Drop something in your Dropbox and do not be in hurry. You see, I told people contribute only 1,000 per week. After 3 months, they start calling me. Now, Biga, you have not brought us your share. We want to divide this money. Come on. I said, you save for 4 years so that you are able to do something tangible and sensible. Saving is not our culture. That we can't grow when you don't save at all. Because you have to save for the future. Boys, thank you so much, Doctor. I'm so excited.
You give us the last let him come in, but specifically to encourage us, especially in the area of utilizing the little you can have and invest, and don't begin to run around to go to look for much more that you may not easily get or suffer from, especially for some who have gone abroad and they end up forcefully removing their body organs for for sale. That's quite painful. Sir, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Alex.
Not Ferguson.
You have just 2 minutes to give us a comment and give just a last word.
Okay, thank you so much, Doctor. Of course, there are key factors. There are key factors of production. Capital is one of them. Land, labor. Now, as we speak now, we have land in this country. But how accessible is it to the young people? For example, where I come from in Kabale, we have a challenge of land fragmentation. Now, the way of land ownership in this country, it is something that needs to be looked at. How do we pass on land? You find we are 4 brothers or 6 brothers. Our father left us with, say, 2 acres. We divide it amongst ourselves. By the time we finish dividing it up, what each one of us is left with is really it's too small to generate any key economic activity. The other issue we need to address from a policy perspective and also take some deliberate actions How do we improve access to credit by productive youth? Access to low-cost capital. There are productive youth out there, by the way, who are actually doing real work. How do we come up to support them with these specific programs? For me, the other point I wanted to make as I conclude is that most of the issues we are talking about now are indicators of something that is not working well. There is something not working well. There is someone who is not doing their part. Policies are in place. What is this process in place to transform these policies into tangible actions that are going to have a positive impact on addressing this issue of unemployment? So for me, that's where we need to tackle. We need to address the issue of corruption. We will keep talking about it. We need to address the issue of patriotism. We need to address the issue of mindset change. We need to inculcate this culture, especially among the young people, to love their country. To ask yourself, what can I do to make this country better? Not what can this country do to make me better. What can you do to make this country better? Yes. Because each of us, despite the challenges, there is something that we can do to make our country better and enjoyable for all of us. But we must, through you, our Member of Parliament, we need to allocate resources to transform our agricultural sector. Give an example of the dairy sector. If we focused on the dairy sector from rearing cows, the milking, the transformation of the milk into specific products, yogurt, powdered milk. If we focus on that just specific sector, the dairy sector, how many jobs would be created? So I think for me, my concluding remark would be that government has good intentions, but efforts are scattered. And they need to be consolidated and target the real problem, and these issues would be addressed.
Thank you so much, Honorable. Just say fair words. I appreciate for your submission. He's the brainy of Kawari Municipality. We want you next time in the Parliament of Uganda, and it will be great for us. Honorable, you can say fair words as we conclude.
Yeah, thank you. I would say patriotism, hard work, and live within our means, and corruption, elimination of corruption, are one of the key things. Yes. Appreciating to work and work hard, and taking agriculture as a business are so key to the youth. And you should not lose heart. We are there for you. We shall make sure you achieve your ends. Most importantly, to the people of Terego, I love you. I still love you so much.
Thank you, and I want to assure the people of Terego, I am secured your time here every month once. At least come and speak to the people. Dear viewers, thank you for staying with us on Smart 24 TV. It has been great to be with Honorable Biga Rose and also Mr. Alex. But don't forget, tonight I would like to introduce to you something special that we will be having in the next few minutes. The address from the President. Tell us the state, the situation at hand. And please allow me to stop at that, and the remaining session, enjoy to be the President of this nation, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. God bless you. Good night until I see you again.
Thank you.
Okay.